What if everything you know is wrong?
When you think of Holi, you probably picture this. Clouds of bright color, huge crowds, just pure joy. But what if I told you that behind this incredible ancient festival, there's a massive economic engine that's just getting started? Let's get into it.
So, what on earth could this beautiful day of fun, community, and culture possibly have to do with being a key driver of a multi-billion-dollar economy? Well, the connection might not seem obvious at first, but trust me, the numbers are absolutely staggering.
That's right, $9.6 billion. That's the projected business turnover just for Holi in India for 2026. That's a mind-boggling 80,000 crore rupees. This has gone way beyond being just a festival. It's a full-blown economic phenomenon. So the big question is, where is all this money coming from?
Okay, let's start by looking inside India itself, where this festival has become this massive spark for spending that touches pretty much every corner of the retail world. Now, what's really fascinating here is just how fast this is growing. I mean, look at that jump. The total business doubled in just 2 years, from 2022 to 2024. And it's not slowing down. It's projected to keep climbing by another 25% in 2026. This kind of rapid growth tells us something bigger is going on. It's a fundamental shift in how people celebrate and, more importantly, how they spend.
So, where is all this cash going? You'd probably guess it's mostly colors and sweets. And yeah, that's a big slice at 19%. But look closer, 12% on groceries, a solid 10% on gold and jewelry, and even 8% on electronics. This shows that Holi is turning into a major shopping holiday, kind of like a second Diwali, where people make big, important purchases for their homes.
And who's really cashing in on this boom? Well, it's an absolutely critical lifeline for India's small and medium-sized businesses. They're the ones making the sweets, the clothes, and the colors. They are the engine turning this festival into a powerful force for grassroots economic growth.
Now, let's talk about the supply chain, because one of the biggest stories here is this incredible shift in where all the Holi stuff is actually coming from. It's nothing short of a revolution, and it has completely reshaped the market.
Just a few years ago, if you went to buy a water gun or colored powder, chances are it was made in China. The market was flooded with those cheap, plastic, synthetic imports. But now, that's almost completely vanished. Today, the market is dominated by Indian small businesses that are making safer, higher quality, and way more innovative products. It's a huge change.
And this quote really gets to the why. This idea of Swadeshi, or self-reliance, has really taken root. It's this powerful mix of national pride and a very real, practical demand from consumers for products that are just plain better and safer for their families.
At the heart of this whole shift is one key innovation: herbal gulal. Instead of those harsh chemical dyes of the past, this new powder uses a cornstarch base with natural stuff like flower extracts. Not only is this exactly what people in India want, but it's also created a massive new export market, tapping right into that global demand for eco-friendly products.
Okay, so the economic impact isn't just about what people buy, it's also about where they go. Holi has now become a major travel season, kicking off a huge tourism boom that you can see all across the country. First, you have the spiritual travelers, the pilgrims. Places in the Braj region, the absolute heartland of Holi, are seeing this massive wave of visitors. Train bookings to Mathura, for example, jumped by 60% in 2025. People are flocking there to see these really unique traditions, like the beautiful flower Holi or the famous playful stick Holi in Barsana. Then, on the flip side, you've got the luxury circuit. Places like Jaipur and Udaipur are drawing a whole different crowd, including a lot of international tourists. They're offering these curated, high-end Holi experiences set against stunning royal palaces, and the interest in these spots is just exploding. And when I say exploding, I mean it. The numbers are just wild. For the 2026 season, travel searches for Jaipur shot up by 282%. And get this, international search interest for Udaipur grew by a staggering 459%. This officially puts Holi on the global map as a major cultural tourism event, right up there with things like cherry blossom season in Japan.
So if Holi is becoming this global magnet for tourists, what does its influence look like beyond India's borders? Well, the answer is this powerful combo of the Indian diaspora and the simple fact that the festival itself is just universally appealing.
All right, this is where it gets really, really interesting. This shows the search intensity for Holi around the world. You would absolutely expect India to be number 1, right? Of course. But look, India is number 8. countries with huge Indian populations like Qatar, Singapore, and the UAE show way more search interest.
So what is going on here? How is it possible that the very birthplace of Holi is seemingly less obsessed with it online than a bunch of other countries? The answer is all about community, culture, and commerce on a truly global scale.
It all comes down to the diaspora effect. You've got over 35 million people of Indian origin living outside of India, and for them, Holi is this huge cultural touchstone. That has led to these massive ticketed events in places like London and New York. It's even inspired mainstream things like the Color Run. A cultural tradition has become a global commercial product, which in turn drives huge exports of those made-in-India goods we were just talking about.
So let's try to pull all of this together. We've got a festival that is a domestic economic beast, a global tourism magnet, and a massive cultural export. But how does it really stack up, and what challenges lie ahead?
This comparison really puts it all in perspective. Now, Diwali is still the undisputed economic giant in India, but Holi's $9.6 billion impact is huge. It's already bigger than the entire economic impact of St. Patrick's Day across the whole United States. That is serious economic power.
But amidst all these massive, impressive numbers, we have to remember a really crucial reality on the ground. About 90% of India's entire labor force is informal. So for millions of artisans, street vendors, and seasonal workers, festivals like Holi aren't just a celebration. They represent a critical make-or-break opportunity for survival-level income that has to support them for months.
And that brings us to the final, most important question. Holi's transformation into this global, multi-billion-dollar machine is undeniable. But as it keeps getting bigger, the real challenge will be balancing all that commercial energy with its cultural soul. Can it keep growing its economic footprint while making sure the benefits are shared fairly and the celebration stays true to its environmental and social roots? That is the delicate balancing act ahead.
Understanding begins with why.